So once again, I find myself in the position of having to review some very, very serious spirits, not having had a chance to do any notes beforehand. Reason being, I don't have enough of them to actually do any notes beforehand. So all the reviewing and all the note-taking has to be done basically on camera. This is not ideal. The lighting is kind of terrible. The light is attacking me from the side here, as you can see. But you know what? We're going to carry on because today is Appleton Hearts Day. Appleton Hearts, a little bit of history, personal history, I guess. About a year and a half ago, I think, Joy Spence of Appleton Distillery, who's amazing, by the way. I'm a huge fanboy of hers, did an AMA on the rum subreddit. I think it was a very controlled AMA. It was very corporatized responses. But anyways, I asked the question, so when is Appleton going to come out with a cask strength barrel proof sort of product, a higher proof Appleton rum? Because for me, one of the things I am most anticipating in the world of rum right now, I'm anticipating a lot of things, but probably the number one on the list is someone to step up and challenge Foursquare. Because Foursquare right now kind of owns the category of circa $100 high proof 10-plus-year-old blended rum. They got it to themselves. No one else is even trying right now. At least not in sort of, regular releases. You've got the St. Lucia distillery doing Chairman's Reserve, doing some individual casks, some barrel picks for different stores and stuff. But those are going to kind of come and go. I don't expect those to be a regular thing. So they're really a full challenge. So I'm really looking, what my hope is really that Appleton would put out a 10, 12, maybe 15-year-old cask strength rum to kind of, step up to Foursquare and say, hey, we gotta share this space. The response was a bit equivocal, a bit vague, but it did leave some room open. So here I was hoping maybe we would see such a thing in the product pipeline. We didn't. What we got was Appleton Hearts, which is a collaboration between the Appleton Estates and Luca Gargano of Velier. Basically, some very, very old casks of entirely pot-distilled rum sold for extortionately high prices. This isn't really what I had in mind. This isn't what I was hoping for when maybe I'll talk about why this is not what I really wanted in the break while we wait for the because I'm going to add water to these because they're at high strength. While we wait for these things to settle down, I will complain about why this is not what I wanted. But right now, let's get some notes in. So okay, what do we got here? We got pot distilled Appleton Estate rum. This is vintage dated. I don't know if there's barrel numbers floating around. If there are, I will add them below. So we're going to go up, we're going to go down as far as the vertical goes. This is the 1999. 1999. All of these are ex-bourbon cask. 1999 is 21 years old, with a congener count of 855 grams per hectoliters. Then we have got a bottle at 63%. The 1995 bottled at 63% also, with a much higher congener count, the highest in the count in the set, 1,440 grams per hectoliter. And finally, the 94, 26 years old, 60% alcohol by volume, 1,184 grams per hectoliter. So the deal was, I wanted to try these because I wanted to know. I didn't want to spend the money, but I wanted to know what they were like. So a bunch of friends and I kind of went in on bottles, and this is my portion of them, my 1 ounce each. And I'm spending them on you. dear viewer, to just tell you what the deal is. All right. Let's start with the 99. All right. All ex-bourbon, 63% alcohol. Couple of, I don't even remember the price tags on these. $300-$400 each, something like that. I mean, crazy numbers. They kind of looked at what Mount Gay was doing with their, pot-distilled, high-proof stuff. And I guess they said, hold my beer, because these are expensive. All right, on the nose in this 90, these have been open for about 2 hours, so they've had some time to take on air, open up a little bit. Okay. Very floral, actually. There's a stuff you can get. There's a Lebanese thing. Rose jelly. It's not really rose jelly. It's not just roses. It's rose petals, but also some lemon kind of made into a jelly with a bunch of sugar. And that's the main note here. It's rose jelly. It's like a really nice cafe latte or a flat white. So cafe drink. Just some, let's say with the coffee thing, because there's a lot of coffee in this. Some used slightly soggy coffee grinds. Vanilla cola cubes, so like intense cola. Little licorice in there, like salted licorice, serious licorice. Splash of seawater, maybe one green olive in there. So we're getting into rummy territory. It's really dominated by the rose jelly thing, but and just a lot of kind of generic wood notes, like kind of tree bark is kind of what this smells like. So go to your forest, just rip all the bark off the trees and kind of smell it. But after you smother it with rose jelly, that's kind of what I'm getting on this 1999. Maybe like one nectarine, a little bit of stone fruit creeping in. But really, that's kind of all I'm getting on this. It's a nice nose. It smells old and oaky and rummy, but I mean, that's the big thing is going to be the price tag. Is this worth the price? And I'm expecting it not to be, but I kind of want to see anyways. All right, let's see. 1999 on the palate. Oh. 21 years in oak, and it feels that this is very woody. Ooh. Okay, what are we getting? So there's a huge kind of aromatic, spicy component. Almost like incense meets cardamom, meets a little bit of nutmeg and clove, meets cinnamon. Rosewater, Turkish Delight. Oh, Jesus. And a big kick of like overstewed sweet tea, like sweet tea you kept brewing for like 3 days straight. And yeah, vanilla and just woody all day long. Woody woodpecker would love this rum. Yeah, just straight up tree bark again. Root beer, birch beer. A little bit herbaceous action too, so maybe a little bit of sassafras in there, along with the other root beer variants. And cola too, some cola notes, more like just the sort of cola. What are they? Not seeds, the little bally things. Whatever that is. Cola, whatever. And then those floral hints are still there. Some Turkish delight, really more rose water, but also Turkish delight. It's actually quite delicate. The wood smack on the back end is absolutely brutal, and I imagine it might actually get worse when I add water to it. Like, it has that feel of being like the wood is being held back by the alcohol, by the high alcohol. So, but you know what? I'm gonna add some water to this, and we shall, because that's what we do, because it is an important thing for just determining the quality of the spirit. Adding a little bit of water tests the stuff to see, if it can take the pressure. So that's what we do. Oh, Jesus. There's a lot of wood on that. And this is the youngest one in the bunch. God almighty. You know what? And they've just come out with like a 1984 of these, which is just gonna be, it's just gonna be wood juice. I wouldn't bother. I mean, the people who are bothering with these are all collectors, anyways. But for the 84, I really wouldn't bother. All right, moving on to the 1995. This one is interesting. So 25 years old, but interesting because it has the highest congener count of all of these. So we shall see if that makes a difference. Actually quite congested on first encounter. Surprisingly quiet on the nose. I'm getting some kind of woods, a little bit of campfire smoke on there. That same kind of rose jelly thing. Okay, now it's coming through. A little cherry, a little kirsch coming through. Still much quieter on the nose than the previous one was. And this is the same strength. Tree bark, again, just lots of wood. And some coffee notes. Like, like a serious ristretto or something. Serious coffee. And cinnamon toast crunch, weirdly enough. Some, just kind of cinnamon sugary goodness. But intermingled with that rose, that kind of rose jelly note. Again, comes across as delicate, but with the wood kind of right there and barely held in check. Interesting. Let's see what this does on the palate. Ooh. The woody kick on these is really brutal. I mean, you're talking about, something that has spent 25 years in wood to start with, and those 25 years were spent in the tropics, where things happen way, way faster than, even up in Kentucky or Tennessee. I mean, so this is very, very woody. Hold on, sorry, I'm taken aback by the woody assault I just experienced. Oh, God. Okay, really good masala chai mixed with just throw some chunks of tree bark in there to kind of set it off. The rose jelly thing is back, hardcore. You're definitely getting those chai spices on board. The birch beer thing, some herbaceous stuff going on, a little bit of thyme and fresh mint. Just a lot of black pepper and just brutal wood tannins on the back end. Like, I mean, I could go to like overstewed sweet tea on the last one because that's like this doesn't even taste like, you know, like sweet tea. Even if you overbrewed it or overstewed it, like this just tastes like wood, like like punching me in the face. Like there's an oak tree that's angry at me, and it's like it's attacking me in the parking lot, that kind of thing. Ah, some sandalwood, balsa, some interesting aromatic wood things going on. I don't dislike it, but it's it's kind of doing the thing that some of the old, you know, the Sazerac stuff, the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection. It kind of does that thing where it's just really hard to drink. This is hard going. All right, I'm gonna give this a couple squirts of water. We'll come back to it. Okay. I'm not choking on it. It's just the wood is that serious. Ah. I will say what this is making me appreciate more than anything is the quality of, or the, yeah, let's go with the quality of the Appleton pot distillate. There is a quiet, delicate floral nature to this stuff, which is comes across as really special. Do I want to be drinking it at 20 plus years old? No, I do not. But this is what's underneath all this wood is good stuff. All right, let's move on to the oldest thing here. This is the 26-year-old. This is a little bit lighter than the others, a mere 60% alcohol. (1994) Appleton Hearts. Even more closed in the nose than the previous one was. I'm going to swirl the hell out of this to see if I can get it to open up. Ralphie is like crying right now because I'm not supposed to be swirling this. Okay, tree bark, and yeah, that just, it doesn't even smell like rose jelly at this point. It just smells like you smothered like a bunch of tree bark in rose petals. Cardamom, cinnamon, coffee, soggy coffee grinds, but also fresh coffee grinds. Those kinds of birch spear notes. And a little bit of, what is that? Like peppermint, actually. Like fresh, not like fake peppermint, like the, this is actual peppermint leaves. And Lipton's iced tea. And some, yeah, vanilla bean, I guess. I mean, the wood, as woody as these are, this one smells the woodiest. Sometimes, how to explain this? The way to get wood on a nose is to not smell it. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's almost, this reminds you a little bit of the what was it, the Whistle Pig 15 that I reviewed a long time ago. In that it almost felt like I was smelling the calm before the storm. The fact that there was just a stillness to this, that I wasn't smelling very much, was telling me there was a hell of a lot of wood hidden in it. So I'm a little scared right now, but I'm gonna give this a shot on the palate with this Appleton Hearts 1994. Huh. At the moment, actually the easiest going one here. That's actually kind of nice. It's again has a delicacy to it, but the wood, which I expected to be like again like just tackling me and bum rushing me right now, is kind of holding off. It's these casks maybe weren't as active as some of the ones in the previous two. Same set of characteristics though. Coffee grinds, you can just copy paste a lot of the same notes. Coffee grinds, chai spice, that rose jelly, root beer, birch beer, a little bit of spearmint actually. Coffee cake, just lots of cinnamon kind of graininess. Coffee cake smothered in cinnamon toast crunch. Let's go with that. Yeah, the wood's there on the back end. It is like really, really, really aggressive, but compared to the previous two, this is actually laying off a little. And I'm getting a little bit of like peach skin on this, like a little like just shave a little hunk of skin off a peach and then stick it in your mouth, and that's kind of what I'm getting. Also a little bit of cherry, a little bit of what is that, like blueberry, almost eau de vie of blueberry, really more so, and maybe like one black olive in this. And some licorice too. Let's go with that. Well, no, not licorice. Scratch that. More fennel. There's an earthiness to this. So let's say fennel. It's nice. It's good. It's balanced. Let's give this a squirt of water. Come back to it in a bit. 4. Is that enough? Nope, we need 5. Okie doke. Now, here comes the scary part. Because these have spent so much time in oak, and, well, back up. What I'm expecting these to do is to get oakier now that I've added water to them, because that's just kind of a common move that spirits do when they've been exposed to that much oak and have been bottled at cask strength. Which this is a little scary though, because they were already so oaky to begin with. All right, let's go back through these. 1999 Appleton Hearts, now with some water in it. So now it just smells like a really nice kind of bundt cake that's been covered in cinnamon sugar and a lot of rose jelly. That's kind of what I'm getting. It smells surprisingly grainy, actually. Little aniseed in there. But yeah, that's most of what I'm getting. This has become actually quite confected, which is surprising considering it's 100% pot still. Usually I associate those kind of candied, confected, whipped creamy notes with calm distillate, but in this case, it's showing up. Those are really showing up a lot in pot distilled stuff. It's nice. There's a little bit of stone fruit also creeping in here, but it's really more almost like dried stone fruit, if that makes sense. Right on the palate. Actually, the wood is not getting out of control. It is not. I mean, there's a lot of wood on it, but it's surprisingly, well controlled. for how much wood there is on this. So it doesn't really develop. It just settles down into this nice kind of, like wood-driven, bourbony style of rum. And I don't know what to add, what I can add more than that. So you're gonna make yourself a cake out of usual cake stuff. You're gonna throw some rose jelly in there, and maybe like half a cup of Coca-Cola, and a hell of a lot of tree bark, and that's kind of what this comes off as. Lots of cinnamon, lots of cardamom, clovey stuff, vanilla bean. I mean, it's good. It's quite good actually, but I mean the problem is the pricing. Honestly, that this is that I know this is going to be going for what, $200, $300, $400. This is not worth that. It's nice. It's actually quite pleasant to drink. What would I give this? I don't know. It's nice. I would give this a good solid like 87 out of 100. It's bringing a lot to the table, but by no means is this great. This is not pushing up into the 90s, not even close. I do like it though. The problem with this is like these are. Back up a little before I start into the 95 and 94. The problem I have with these is they're just for the collectors, right? I mean, these are things for and they're not going to build the Appleton brand really. I mean, Campari is going to make a ton of money, I'm sure, selling this stuff to collectors, the old men, the boomers out there, but it's not building the brand. If you want to build a brand on for the younger generation, this is not what you do. The problem you're running into is if this is all you're putting out, is when the boomers are dead and gone, and the folks who are drinking, just getting into rum right now, get to the point where for them rum means Savannah, it means Hamden, it means Foursquare, like Appleton's out of the picture. So. If you want to keep those folks on board, what you need is something like, well, and I hate to say this again, say an 8, 10, 12, 15-year-old cask strength rum under $100. In general, like really good killer must-have products under $100 is what brings in sort of, the entry-level younger crowd and keeps them so that they spend tons of money on the collectible products later on. I'm just saying. Like these are fine, but if you're looking out for the future of Appleton as a brand, this is not good enough. And with that said, let's move on. Sorry, let's move on to the 1995. This was the woodiest of the bunch by a lot when I first tried it. Neat. Let's see what happens with water. Gets way woodier with water. It just smells like a tree exploded in my face. There's lots of just like wood dust happening right now. All the notes from before, it gets actually more herbaceous than the others. More sort of fresh mint and fresh peppermint showing up. Rose jelly, the coffee stuff, the root beer stuff. That's all still there, but it's the wood dust. The sort of explosion of wood dust in my face is kind of dominating all of this and throwing it a little bit off balance. Yeah. Lots of cinnamon, cardamom again, a little clove, nutmeg, allspice even. But yeah, the woodiness is just a hair too much for me, on the nose at least. On the palate, we shall see. So on the palate, 1995 Appleton Hearts with water now. Oh. 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 No. Oh. I mean, there's a lot of stuff there, but the woods and the tannins are just, they're really throwing this off. Lots of tree bark, lots of just, yeah, overstewed tea, tree bark, birch beer. There's beautiful floral notes, the rose petals, the cinnamon, the cardamom again, but even a little bit of green olive in there, kind of relieving it, but I add another squirt of water to see if that helps it out, but I don't think, yeah, this is a tough one because the quality is pretty high. This is well made. It's just got too much oak on it. It's just the stuff in this, they should have pulled it out of the barrel 5 years earlier. And that's kind of all I got. Ah. Anise and fennel and just wood planks, you know, punching into the back of my mouth. Oh God. I can't give this a bad score, right? Because the components involved are basically good, but man, this is hard to drink. Yeah, we're kind of in stag territory. We're deeper into stag territory than George T. Stagg is, actually. It's that hard to drink. It's good, but it's that hard to drink. Yeah, I'm gonna give this an 85 minus, which is not a score you see a lot from me, but there it is. 85 minus, good stuff, just hard going. Really difficult to find the balance on this 95. Yeah, that's I'm gonna leave it there. And finally, the 1994 Appleton Hearts with some water. This might have been my favorite of the bunch. Trying neat, but let's see what happens. On the nose. So I'm getting some. Imagine if you sort of made an imaginary mixture of like kirsch, rose jelly, and like peach jam. That's kind of what I'm getting here. Throw a little orange peel in there too, and the cinnamon cardamom I've been getting all along, and a little bit of coffee too. This might have actually kind of pulled back, got a little simpler with water, which is not great. Oh well, let's see what happens on the palate with this 94. Not a whole lot of development, actually. I'm going to give this another squirt of water, see if that brings out more. Brings out the wood a little, but not anywhere near the extent of the 95. Let me give this one more shot. Yes, we're getting coffee cake, cinnamon sugar, a lot of clove actually. The tree bark thing, the wood comes out, which is a little bit not my favorite thing. The rose petal elements are still there, which is nice. The slightly herbaceous elements are there, which is nice. The root beer, the sassafras, the birch beer stuff. That little nod towards stone fruit, even though it's really more of a hint than a sort of note. And like the sort of cherry kind of bourbon woody note. I like it. There's a little bit of aromatic wood. Again, some balsa, sandalwood, that kind of thing. Yeah, but then on the back end, it just gets a little bit too dry, a little bit too woody for me. Score-wise, I would score this actually a little bit under the 99. Not too far under the 99, but a little bit under. Let's say an 86, good even 86 out of 100 for the 94. And I'm going to go through one more time to confirm this. So the 95 was my least favorite. Trying that again. Oh, God. No, too much wood. Just, what's there is nice, but it's just thrown way off by the amount of wood involved. 94. Again. With water, the wood is there, but it's way, way less than the 95 actually. And shows a little bit more balance. So yeah, I'm going to keep my 86 score. And the 99, which wasn't wowing me neat, but with water, it's actually probably maybe the best of these three. Let's try the 91 one more time with water. Easily the most balanced of the bunch. Easily the most balanced of the bunch. Yeah, I'm sticking by my guns. 87 for the 99, 85 minus for the 95, and 86 for the 94. Good rums, but these aren't the rums I was hoping to see. You're probably never, you're watching this, you're probably never going to get to taste these. And you know what, to be honest, you're not missing out on a whole lot. What's fun about these is not the oakiness. It's the distillate. It's that sort of floral, stone fruity character coming from the Appleton pot stills. It would be great if they just put out a younger version of that. I don't want a 21, 26-year-old version of this stuff. Give me a 20, like a 12-year-old version of Appleton pot distillate, and I would be very happy. And I will happily, would be very happy to pay the accordingly less money too. Yeah, so good stuff. But I mean, does it really matter? Honestly, for products like these, because they're just going to go in the collections. Like these are just fodder for the collector's market in rum right now, and that's really sad, honestly. But that's how it is. I await the day when Appleton puts out a pot still rum, or indeed my long-awaited barrel-proof high-end blended rum. But at the moment, no, nothing. Looking to St. Lucia, looking to Foursquare. They're going to have what you want. Thanks for watching, and cheers.